Hello my friend, welcome to the fourth installment of EU4. Today I'm trying something a bit different. I've recorded the audio separately to play in the game, just to experiment a bit really, kinda like when Americans go into college and start experimenting with the sexuality, except I'm not American and I'm not experimenting with my sexuality. But anyway, let's just see how this goes, and I hope you enjoy the playthrough. And I hope I don't end up criticising my poor performance too much. So basically, the main focus of the episode was supposed to be on regaining Epirus and Morea and Wallachia as a vassal. However, with the truces that were still in place, I was unable to do that, because I wasn't willing to take the stability hits and the war exhaustion hits. So instead I was gonna focus on Crimea and Teodoro, who were at war with Lithuania, as you can see, just so it could give me an expansion towards the eastern world and Russia. Lithuania were friendly towards me, that's why I allied them. As you can see, they prove a valuable ally against Poland. Well, they will do eventually. And again, decline in royal marriages because they ruin my legitimacy and I don't want to do that. Also, the truce with the Mamluks ends in 1472, and I do still have a coalition against me of Tabaristan, Timurids and Serbia, which is why I'm reluctant to expand in the east. Now, I accepted the call to arms from Lithuania because it would, well, due to my war efforts, it'd grant me a valuable amount of favours, which I could use in the next war with Poland, or maybe even the Golden Horde as I expand towards there. They're just a valuable, powerful ally, very good for defensive wars as well, considering they can spit out a ridiculous amount of soldiers due to their manpower. So my tech's still pretty even, it's 555, which it's usually higher on military tech, but I have been focusing more on ideas lately. So yeah, the truce is still 1470, well, it's not going to change obviously, but 1477, which is a long while away, especially for a game that's got to be played so slow like the Ottomans. So yeah, it was a pretty quiet sort of half an hour really. Not much happened apart from, well, when I say not much happened, a lot did happen, but not as much as what could have happened if the truces weren't there. So if it was a different game, it would have been more exciting, really. So what I was planning on doing at this point was bringing my troops to Crimea and Teodoro, which are the two capitals of the enemy. One of Crimea itself and the other of its vassal, and the vassal's only province, which is Teodoro. I believe I'm saying that correctly, I'm not sure. If anyone knows, please do correct me. So, and that was to minimise the war score that Lithuania got, just so I could, well, minimise their gains. I don't want Lithuania becoming too powerful, because then it'd be a pain, well, be a pain for me to deal with, yeah. Noticing that the Mamluks were still allied with Shamar, I wanted to vassalise them to take it away from the Mamluks, which, to be honest, I thought was a pretty good tactic. I mean, it seemed, you know, use the enemy's allies in your favour and remove any support from your enemy's allies, well, from your enemy. I mean, come on, that's quite good. Pretty simple, but quite good. The Najd have taken Hassa, it seems. The entirety of it. Don't know how they done that. But, well, obviously by defeating them in a war, but you know what I mean. Hejaz still really hasn't moved, but Oman at this point are massive compared to what they usually are, especially because they usually get slaughtered. So yeah, at this point I do split my troops. It's just to maximise siege power on both provinces, again to minimise the war score that Lithuania would get. Poor Epirus is under siege by Albania. They've just been released from my subjugation, and now Albania are literally all over them. Feel quite sorry for them, to be honest. I mean, it's not nice really, is it? Quite tyrannical from Albania. But well, it doesn't matter. Epirus aren't us, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, like, I was really looking forward to warring with the Mamluks, because I really do like Alexandria, which is Ixandri, I think it's pronounced in... Is that Egyptian? I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's Ixandri. But anyway, that's Alexandria, and it's one of my favourite cities that I've never been to, but I do want to go to, simply because of Alexander the Great. Such a amazing character, and the city's named after him. So I say character as if I know him. But, you know, he's went down in history as one of the world's greatest military leaders. So yeah, you know. I'm really looking forward to the next EU DLC. The name of it escapes me, but it looks absolutely amazing. I don't know much about it, to be honest, but it looks absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for it to come out. Hopefully I'll be able to get it on the day of its release. I don't think it's already released, because it's only just been announced, hasn't it? But anyway, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get that as soon as possible, because it's something that I personally do want desperately. Right, so my sieges over in Crimea at this point were coming along pretty well, and that's when I noticed that the Qara Qoyunlu were in a bad way, eyeing them up for possible attack, shall we say. My vassal there, the Qara Qoyunlu, should be a lot stronger than what they are. Really, to be honest. Ah, yeah. I remember this bit now. This is interesting, because it's a bad move on my behalf, really, but at the same time I really didn't expect it to happen, and I don't think anyone could have anticipated it. But basically I'll say a bit more about that later, because it does come back into it again soon. So one thing I'm really baffled about is before limit being, what was it, 47? Yeah, 47. Because it seems pretty low for the Ottomans at this point, but saying that I have lost land, and I haven't got the land force limit modifiers yet from, what's the idea called? Quantity ideas, that's it. That's the one. Yeah, so basically I sieged with a superior army on Shamar, and I decided to end me pursuit of vassalising them, because I thought with Najd having a much larger army, possibly superior, I should have checked that out actually, but with Najd having a much larger army, they would be able to take out Shammar. However, that's not the way it went. As you'll see in a few minutes, Shammar must have destroyed them, to be fair. My troops over in the Crimea just waiting to finish sieging that land. Lithuania's troops waiting for me to siege that land. It was all a waiting game, really, on my behalf. Them just wanting me to siege their land, siege Crimea's land, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's what it was, really. So yeah, I got 17 favours, which was well worth the war effort, I believe. I didn't really do much, and 17 favours is almost enough for 2 wars. But they did take 3 provinces off Crimea. I believe it's 3, it could be more, I'm not sure. But they did, I do believe it's 3 provinces that they'd taken from Crimea, which I didn't think they'd be able to, simply because I had the capital, and I think the capital's their only fort, but it's not an actual fort, so I don't know. But anyway, it worked out for both of us, really. So it's still 6 years until the siege with the Mamluks happen, the truce with the Mamluks, sorry, ends, and I start to eye up the Serbian lands. Yeah, so as you can see there, the Najd have 13,000 troops with Shammar 7.5k, well 7.7, and that's when I should have really, that's what made me actually end me pursuit. I tried to offer them a condottieri, and because I couldn't reach their capital, they said no, even though I offered it to them for free and I could have got military access. But yeah, anyway, I stopped my pursuit because of that, and it came back to bite me, really, because for some, well, in some strange, miraculous for themselves way, Shammar just won. Don't know how, don't know when, just noticed it a few years later, well, a few in-game years later, that Shammar just won. So now what I was readying myself for was a war with the Qara Qoyunlu. Just finishing that war, well, with the war in the Crimea just finished, I was about to get bored of waiting, even though I wasn't waiting for anything, but I was about to get bored of it anyway. So I started to ready myself for a war. Hired myself a advisor, that's the name I'm looking for, an advisor, just to help with, what are they called again? Monarch points? Monarch point? Yeah, the monarch points. And as you can see, I had no buildings built whatsoever to upgrade my land, so I started straight away on that to help boost my economy, as I didn't have an economy as well as an Ottoman's land should be. Just ferrying the rest of my troops over now to regroup. That oh, I'll need to think of a name for her, actually, a nice little name. Don't know, but they did invade the Crimea for Lithuania, so maybe I'll do something around that. And this is what started to really freak me out. Albania, who never usually becomes more than a 1-province minor, well, that never becomes more than what it starts off as, taken over Epirus's land and went to war with that's Morea, or is it Achaia? I don't know, it's one of the two anyway. So I decided to act and offer them a condottieri for, I think it was 0.6 ducats a month. Yeah, a month, yeah. Which they gratefully accepted. and that was just to help stop Albania becoming far too big, especially with it being in a... Wait, I've only just realised, if they're more than one province, they can no longer be part of a trade league, can they? Ha ha ha. Ha, I know what I'm doing next little session anyway. Taking back me Albanian lands. And Epirus, well, Epirote? Epirote? Is it? I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm still eyeing up the Serbian lands, and with Bosnia's ally only being Serbia, I was going to call in Bosnia as a co-belligerent and vassalizer, because I'm addicted to vassals, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The war with the Najd and Shamar still ongoing. But I think this was the turning point. I think Shamar started to siege the Najd's lands. And I eventually won. I also think Najd were attacked by Yemen, but I'm not sure yet. So basically, I've just destroyed Albania's army for... I can't even see what faction it is. I can't even remember what faction it is. Is it Maria? Is it Achaia? Let's see. Just, come on, mouse. There we go, Maria. It is Maria. And... oh yeah, Venice declared on Albania. So, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, and then Venice took both Albania and Epirus, which means I can't declare war on Albania on my next little session because it'll have to be on Venice, but I can't go to war with Venice because they're pretty powerful, and it'd be a really exhaustive war, one that I don't need while I'm still getting on my feet as the Ottomans. I mean, I could probably win it, I guess, but I don't really want to risk it because Venice have some allies. Oh yeah, that was pretty hefty. The fact that Poland were losing a war against Bohemia, that can really help once the truce has ended and not finished. Same thing really, isn't it? Anyway, once the truce has ended, because Poland will be a lot weaker, hopefully, and maybe not have as many allies. Yeah, so still readying myself for war, really. This is where I don't know why me armies never had leaders on anyway, but the leaders are now commanding forces. Sorry, that was a stretch yawn type thing. So now the leaders are commanding their armies, and I'm positioning the armies in what I thought was... what's the word? Relevant, I'll say relevant for the war. Well, for the coming war. Anyway, relevant positions for the coming war. Because it will be on Qara Qoyunlu. Well, it was on Qara Qoyunlu, I can tell you that now for definite. And I probably made some awful mistakes during that war, which I'll get to see. And so will you. And you can laugh and tell me how awful I am at this game, and I will laugh with you and tell you how awful I am at this game. So, just about to start war with the Qara Qoyunlu now. See, for me, any expansion is good expansion, except aggressive expansion, in which case it can go and die. Aggressive expansion ruins everything. It's not only ruined my games on EU, it's probably ruined more families than what Monopoly has done. Because let's be honest, Monopoly ruins families. That's what annoys me, yeah. The way vassals just can't control the rebellions. Like, my vassals always seem to get a load of rebellions, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I feed to them so much and not overpower them because they're still really awful, but give them more land than what the game intended them to. Maybe I don't know. Well, no, because if you look at the bookmarks, the Qara Qoyunlu can start off really, really big. That's what she said. But yeah, this war was quite easy, to be honest. Qara was damaged from the earlier war with me, and also its earlier war with the Timurids. So it was... Oh my god, I do apologise. I'm absolutely knackered. But yeah, anyway, it was a walk in the park, really. I mean, I made a few movement mistakes that made the war drag on for longer than it needed to, but it wasn't too bad, to be honest. I've fought wars much sloppier than what I did this one. Just made some mad noise then when I was yawning. Don't even know what that was. That was funny, that. So what was I thinking at this point? I think that I was thinking how sorry I felt for the Qara Qoyunlu, because they were a powerful faction. And I've got to admit, I have quite a soft spot for the Qara Qoyunlu. Don't know what it is. I don't even know if I pronounced the name right, but I like them. I think it's because it's the first horde I ever went when I done a playthrough as them, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't last until the end. I've never lasted until the end of a playthrough. I'm gonna last with the Ottomans though, because they're the Ottomans and they stood the test of time. So, do you know what? I will with them. I will last until the end. What is it, 1815 or something? 1825, 80, I don't know. But I'll last. I will last. First time I've ever said that in my life. So again, my armies are just sieging and killing and pillaging and ravaging and potentially buggering each other, maybe resorting to a bit of frothing, you know, a bit of sword fighting, pork sword fencing, pork sword swashbuckling. I don't know, whatever they're doing it well. I will survive. Yeah, I did just do that apparently. Wow, that was a massive word blurt. I did not mean to sing that. Okay, fair enough. Live with it, cause I have to. Can't believe Shamar won that war, you know. They were outnumbered, outclassed, yet they still won. How? How? Is it proof that Allah exists? Because Shamar, who are faithful to Allah, survived a war on EU that they shouldn't have won? Possibly, or, you know, possibly not. More than likely not. Most definitely not. Really. Gotta admit though, the Qara Qoyunlu, oh my god. Bloody hell, I need to start getting oxygen to my brain now. Oxygen in brain, I think. But yeah, the Qara Qoyunlu did catch me off guard a few times. He did end up sieging me vassals' land a few times, and you know what? Hats off to them. Because like I said a bit earlier, I do like them. Interesting. I still want to know how Shervan got down there. See, I didn't even notice them then watching back on it as I'm speaking. Maybe because I'm half asleep, but that doesn't matter really. I should have still noticed, I should have kept an eye out. But yeah, like, it completely took me by surprise, and it was really good. Because apart from taking me by surprise, they also reclaimed 2 provinces of Qara Qoyunlu. Don't get me wrong, it was completely futile, and I slaughtered them nonetheless. I mean, if it made them win the war, I'd have literally bowed down to the feet of the... Is it Chevanese or Shivani? Whatever it is, as Lord. And kissed the ground he stood upon, and potentially cleaned his boots or shoes or sandals. Let's go with sandals, eh? Oh no, he's on mountains. Alright, yeah, let's go with sandals. Still sandals. Is that? Yeah, yeah, alright, yeah, sandals. Or should we portray him to be a bit of a madman and wear socks with his sandals? So he's wearing a sock and sandal combination. Let's do that. So he's still wearing sandals, but he's wearing big thick white socks to go with them sandals. So yeah, anyway, 100% of the war. It was quite nice actually. My power increased in total, and I can't even remember what I pieced out with, you know. Like, I hope I took me core. I can't even remember. Like, I just can't. That's proper bad. My memory is awful. Why can't I remember? Why was I looking at Tiberistan? I am so awful at this game. Yeah, let's see. It's the moment of truth, eh? It's the moment of truth. I clicked it. Did a piece out with it? Let's see. I think I do. Oh, and I do. Lovely. Piece out with... What's it called? Izorum? Yeah, Izorum. Yeah, let's go with that. And like an absolute idiot, 15,000 of my troops were just sort of left in Shervan. Let's have this dilemma again: Chevanese or Shivani. Either one, I don't care. In their land anyway. And I'm gonna need to try and get access from the Timurids to get back onto my land. Or Georgia. Either or. I'll prefer Georgia, because I don't like the Timurids. Also, Georgia's a nice name, isn't it? Like, because it can be the name of a person, it's relatable. You can think, do you know what, Georgia, you might be a nation, but you could be a person. Right, that makes sense in my head, so we'll still roll with it, okay? Fine. Yep. So, continue to upgrade me provinces. It's basically what you need to do to boost your economy, isn't it, really? So that's what I've done. I enjoy this travel and minstrel event. It's the stability, the free stability. It's really cool. I always get the stability unless I've got full stability, in which there's no need to. So with the truce coming to an end at the Mamluk, truce with the Mamluks coming to an end, I prepare myself for war with them, position my troops in a nice little location, and wait it out. Really, October, and there's November. So I have to click on all them off. Just wait a little, and well, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and share. Again, thank you. I do appreciate the time you take to watch these videos. So goodbye. The 5th installment will be out next week. Just one more thank you. Goodbye.